What's good, y'all? Welcome to another video. You feel me? I think I'm gonna talk about, well, obviously you know what the video's about, but this will be a review, a late review of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, where could I start? I think Multiverse of Madness, I'll do my usual style of review. Pros and cons. We'll start with the cons. I think the movie could have been a bit longer, yet its pacing feels a bit off as well. I feel like in the middle, when you get to, I'll just spoil it, when you get to the Illuminati stuff, which is in the trailer, but when you get to that part, the scenes before that where they're kind of walking around and then a bit of the lab scenes drag on a bit. I can tell the beginning is great, and then everything once Wanda starts fighting the Illuminati. Well, even when the Illuminati are talking to Strange, from then on, for the rest of the movie is great. But it's that lull right there that kind of drags the movie down a bit, and I can imagine myself on a rewatch skipping through that part. Another con, I think I like the ending, but it was a bit lackluster. Very the final battle was really short. And I liked the way it ended, but I think we could have seen a bit more with that. It was a bit fast how it ended. And then I would say my next major one is not enough multiverse. As much as people hyped up so many cameos, etc., it's going to be so crazy. And it's called Multiverse of Madness. You only go to about 2 other universes, I believe. And we flash through a bunch of way cooler ones. You know what I mean? We're flashing through all the cool universes, and then we're staying in the more standard ones. But that last universe was cool, though. That the universe with the evil Strange or Strange Supreme, whatever he's called, that was a cool one. I did mess with that. That was cool. For some pros, the action was great. Had some really creative fights. The music note fight was really cool. Brutal kills for Marvel. I like that as well. So maybe we can see more of that carry over in Blade and different things like that. I would like that to carry over into all of them to some degree, but they won't do that. So at least maybe in Blade we can get something a little bit to that level, and some of those other more visceral needing films. Very well directed. This movie felt the most directed out of any Marvel movie, if that makes sense. Maybe not the most directed, but it had the most style in its direction. Not to say the other movies don't have beautiful shots or scenery, but just the way the camera's panning and we're swooping and it's a lot of cool Sam Raimi-esque things. You can definitely tell if you know Sam Raimi, this is directed like Sam Raimi. But you can also tell there's kind of 2 tones clashing a bit in this film. There's your typical Marvel movie tone, and then there's the horror horror elements they were trying to put into the movie. All the horror stuff is amazing. I want more of that. I wanted less of the standard Marvel. Standard Marvel is great, don't get me wrong. I love Shang-Chi, and you will hear me scream about Shang-Chi forever. Shang-Chi forever. But in this movie, when they had the horror elements, which were so good, and then you also just have the standard in there, it feels like the standard is there just so people know it's a Marvel movie. I feel like we could have gone more with the horror, even in the action. Just keep it visceral, keep it creepy. That stuff was great. The way the story twists with a lot of the different. Well, I'm spoiling anyway, but Zombie Strange. I thought he was gonna fight Zombie Strange. He is Zombie Strange. Like that shit was cool. So there's a lot of cool parts in the movie. I think Wanda's storyline was the foundation. You could say was a bit shaky, sort of, especially coming off WandaVision. When, if I remember correctly, I thought she learned better, but at the end they did show her with the Darkhold, so I guess not, right? So you get into this movie and she's just beyond beyond. And yeah, so it was interesting that she was the villain because we knew she would be in the movie for a while, but I thought it would be like Doctor Strange and Wanda teaming up. Nah, she's the Scarlet Witch. She's the villain. I thought that was cool though. They really gave her some cool scenes when she's fighting the Illuminati and she pops. First of all, Mr. Fantastic coming out was hot because people have been predicting. That was probably the biggest cameo because we already knew about Professor X and Black Bolt was cool. We already knew about Captain Carter. I do think they showed too much in the promotional shit. I did not want to know all of that, but I did because then there wasn't as much left to be like, oh shit about. So sorry, I'm having a bit of like cotton mouth right now. But yeah. So Mr. Fantastic, what's his name? John Krasinski. Everybody was kind of fan casting him, so boom, he's Mr. Fantastic. At least in this movie, but I'm sure he'll stay Mr. Fantastic. He gets his fucking brain popped, or his body unraveled, and then like his head pops. That was cool. Black Bolt gets his mouth like matrixed. Like his mouth gets like covered over with skin. And then he tries to speak and blows his brain out. I mean, there's some cool shit. Captain Carter gets cut in half with the shield. That was hot. Captain Marvel, she's got crushed. So that was cool. But Professor X, he had a great death. He's sneaking. He's trying to pull Wanda out, and then the mist is coming, and he's like shook. And then she just jumps out, snaps his neck. That was pretty bad. Like some brutal shit. There's some brutal shit. And I liked all of that. America Chavez was great. She was probably my favorite character in the movie, to be honest. She was really cool. I would like to see them use her powers more in the future because, I mean, we can literally travel the multiverse at any moment now. So she should be really key to the future. If this movie, as much as it's multiverse, it feels a lot like a side quest. It doesn't feel, it's not, it is, but it's not really multiverse super duper high stakes. This movie feels like we're just on a quest, like a mission starts and we got to complete the mission. And it's cool that it feels like that, but it's not as big and as high in its stakes as you would think. Even though it is, but it's not at the same time. It's very weird. It doesn't feel overly high stakes when you're watching it. If that makes sense. Not to say it's not high stakes, because, some people might get on me. Oh, it's very high stakes, it's obviously, but the way it's presented, it doesn't feel like it's going to change the I don't know, foundation or something major in the multiverse. It never gives you that kind of feeling. And I kind of wanted a bit more of that because I was thinking this is Multiverse of Madness. We need to be going crazy in the multiverse, but it's a little bit of multiverse stuff. But we'll see it more and more. So, I think for the most part it's good. It's probably second tier Marvel movie for me. You got like God tier films, and I can go through a whole video of that. But this is probably in that second tier towards the middle. I have to think about it, but maybe towards the middle, towards the bottom-ish. Really good, not great. I'll give it probably a 7 out of 10, maybe an 8 on a good day if I'm really feeling it. But I'm just going to play it a bit safer and give this one a 7. Really solid, really good film, really great direction, really great horror film elements. it really is a horror movie. And kids, this is not really a kid's film. It really isn't. But it's very cool though, and I do like it. So 7 out of 10. Multiverse of Madness. Hope you all enjoyed the video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.